Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. I thought I'd take a shot here at adding voiceover to this SEAL team recovery mission that we did on the 9th of August 2009. This video itself is an expanded cut of the original. It adds a couple of minutes on the front end and then a couple of minutes on the back end as well. I'm going to upload it as a separate one because I think the one that's 6.5 minutes, the original PEDRO 1.5 engagement video, is pretty good, and I don't want to take that down. At some point, I'll give you the background on why I chose to keep that video private for about 10 years, and only recently have I released it to the public. So here we go, PEDRO 1.5. This is the expanded cut from the 9th of August, 2009. We've just got launched about 10 minutes ago, 10 minutes prior from Kandahar, which is in southern Afghanistan. We're loaded up with a full PJ team on board, and we're a formation of 2 Air Force PAVEHAWK helicopters. We're going to get a SEAL team that, again, has kicked the hornet's nest like they typically do, and they've been pursued for most of the morning by Taliban and are now holed up in an abandoned compound near Arghandab, which is about 30 miles north of Kandahar, and this is all taking place in southern Afghanistan. Prior to the 2-minute call, which is coming up here momentarily, and it's going to be signaled, you'll see it on the video, signaled by the gunner. We established comms with the JTAC and the LZ, whose call sign is JAGUAR, to make sure the LZ was secure. Now this took a little while. There's a previous video you can see on this channel that's about 16.5 minutes long, and you can see us circling the wagons, waiting for the LZ to be secured, because it took a while for the A-10s overhead and the OH-58s to sanitize it. We had at least 2 squads of Taliban that were sort of laying in wait for us. If you're familiar with the setup, you'll know what I'm talking about. But that comes up in the 6.5 minute video here, and then later in this one as well. So here we are. This is the gunner's perspective from the left side of the helicopter. Our formation wingman, PEDRO 1.6, is flying behind us. We're just getting ready to cross a major line of communication here in convoy, and the gunner's scanning that, make sure there's no threats that pop up. Once we clear this rising terrain and the small compound, he'll call 2 minutes, like he does here. And he yells that out in the back, and everyone in the cabin and the helicopter can hear it. I can remember flying in the cockpit, and I could smell one of the PJs that opened up a can of dip when the gunner called 2 minutes. Like, he's getting ready, so here we go. And I could smell it when he opened that can. It was an interesting indicator of PJ's SF guys getting ready. It was cool. So we just crossed a major LOC. We've got comms with Jaguar. We're going to overfly the LZ one time to recon it. We'll look for Jaguar's smoke, and right about here we're telling him to get ready to pop smoke to mark the LZ. It'll also give us a good wind indication. Only about 2 or 3 miles out now. So both helicopters will go up into what's called an L-attack formation. They'll climb a little bit. We'll recon the LZ. You can start to see the river here coming up at 11 o'clock. There it is, and the compound is out there to the left, going to about 9 o'clock now. And we'll start a hard left turn. There's smoke from the OH-58s, rocket attacks, and the A-10s laying down fire before. A couple things that are burning there. You'll get a glimpse of my wingman back here at 9 o'clock. There he is. He's over the LZ now. So we're spinning left. He's going to stay in the overhead and cover me. And there's the red smoke from Jaguar, and I'm starting my approach. Expecting a little bit of a brownout. And it was a little bit worse than I expected. I'm like, fuck, I just want to get this on the ground. So we're wheels down. No threats yet, apparently. We're on the ground for about a minute total. Gunner secures the door. the opposite door and the patient loading. We got about 6 guys are going to load on us, and I think 3 on my wingman on CHAWG 2. There's a SEAL team pulling LZ security by himself. I don't know if that's the smartest move, but that's what he did. And he's right, my gunner's like, hey, he's right in my weapons engagement zone, my WES. You know, get that motherfucker out of there. Anyway, so he's pulling LZ security, we're loading patients, and I'm still on the ground. There's ANA getting on. He's happy to be on board. I'm sure these guys are shot up pretty good all morning long. I'm sure they're happy to get out of there. Gunner watching his WES. SEAL team member is just kind of wandering out there. Thankfully he doesn't get sniped or shot. PJs and Crow are securing everyone, and we're getting ready for takeoff. I call 30 seconds to my wingman so he can position himself, and we're on the go. Pulling max power, trying to keep it low. Right about here, it starts to sound like someone's throwing gravel into one of the engine intakes, and that was later on found out somebody was shooting at us. There's the RPG shot, and we're breaking left. FE goes hot with his gun, and I was sure that we were hit, or at least fragged. Some check-in systems flying away, check-in systems. CHAWG 2 is on the approach on short final. Man, it had been 20 or 30 seconds by that time, and my gunner looks up and says, hey boss, where are we going? We got to get back over the LZ and protect CHAWG 2. At that point, I was just glad we were flying. All right, so here we go, 100 knots, climbing up to about 200, 300 feet, and the gunner's in hot on the left. I'm chunking out flares to protect against any man pads, and then we're out. Still hot. I'll circle back around, we'll get the right gun on target, and the gunner passes it off to the flight engineer through the cockpit. Flight engineer gets tally on the squad of Taliban trying to reposition, and he's in hot. First low rate and then high rate. And we're right over the top of CHAWG 2 in the LZ. Actually worked out pretty well. Chunking flares again. Make a little maneuver to the left. Checking systems. Still popping flares preemptively. And then we're back to the right. Hard right. Come on, mother, turn. Come on, baby, turn. We're back in hot on the left gun. CHAWG 2 is pulling pitch at this time. We'll get one more pass on him to keep their heads down. FE had done a pretty good job neutralizing the threat already. The gunner's hot on this pass. And that was it. That was it for the weapons pass. CHAWG 2 is egressing to the south, and we're going to join up on them. They've got the lead. Headed back to Kandahar. I pulled so much torque. One of the engines was surging. I don't remember which one it was. But one of the engines was surging. I'd pulled it so hard. I think I over-torqued it. And that's it. Still chunking flares. Gosh, that goes quick. So we're back inbound to Kandahar into the Roll 3 medical facility. And I'm asking the PJ team leader and the Crow to pass up the med status of the patients. We've got 6 in back. A couple of non-ambulatory. Looked like they'd loaded a couple of litters. And CHAWG 2 is, I think, got some walking wounded. So all told, I think we had 9 patients that we exfilled. I don't know what happened to DUSTOFF. They got waved off initially. I think that they slunk back to Kandahar. We didn't see them the rest of the day. And that was it. We're relaying on SATCOM our ops status. And man, it goes quick. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll let the rest of this video just roll. We've got a couple of minutes here as we're getting set up on our approach to the med facility at Kandahar.